Greetings, my fellow storm-prepared survivors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Frostpunk 2. Episode 9, Storm on the Horizon. Okay, everyone has a home. And we're stockpiling a pretty good amount of food. Materials is basically balanced. In fact, we're over capacity with materials. We have 101,000 out of 100,000, so like, we're over surplused on that. Goods could require a little love. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put an industrial district here to be adjacent to the iron mine, so that there's some synergy bonuses there, instead of just continually adding it over here, because that's really built up. Okay, the surplus injectors are researched. So these are central buildings that I have to build that upgrades the generator. But I'm not going to do that immediately. Hey Shield, thank you for the resub, man. 60 months. Hope you're not too cold. Nah, I'm pretty bundled. Although it's about to get a little colder, so you know, that might change. So let's do another vent tower so that the squalor gets managed. I like to try to keep all of the needs stable to keep the tension down. And I think I'm going to grant agenda to the Frostlanders again. Now that I actually have favor with the Frostlanders, so that if the Pilgrims become escalated, I can de-escalate the situation. Rallying stalwarts, propose ideas. They want me to pledge to pass machine attendance. The problem with that is machine attendance, if I'm not mistaken, is a radical idea. So I'm going to disregard the study. So the issue with that is, if I take a look at machine attendance, I'm pretty sure I was right. Machine attendance, being a radical idea, will drive... Yes, it's a radical idea. Will drive the Pilgrims to become very upset. And this is also something that not even the New Londoners support. So I'm going to purposely and intentionally avoid radical ideas. Once I start playing a Utopia city, where you guys are doing all the voting and proposing, if you want to go super radical in one direction, I support it. I'm just going to try to play them roughly the middle, but leaning towards the stewards in this story. But I fully invite you guys to go full radical if and when that time comes. Alright, so squalor is diminishing. Good. Oh, and the mushroom farm is connected. I'm going to turn off the mushroom farm because I don't need to start exhausting its resources. And instead, let's grab the extra materials. So I'll start stockpile. Oh, no, nah, that doesn't make any sense. I'm already above my stockpile for materials. Is there somewhere to survey? Oh, I'm going to get rid of the Stormwatch for the exploration speed and see if there's a 15 survey somewhere. Oh, there really isn't. Oh, no, here's one. So there's a 10 survey and then Stormwatch to accelerate exploration speed. I have the ability to research something new. You know what I could do? I could poll you guys on it. What to research? Heating, resources, Frostland, city, society. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Or hub. And I'm going to very briefly explain what I would choose. So for resources, I would probably go with goods factories, so that I could produce goods in higher quantity. That's for resources. For heating, I would research heat dispatcher. to be able to reduce heat demand in a area that it's built. For Frostland, I would probably research the mechanized scouts to be able to scout faster. For city, I would research maintenance duty so that the unproductive do maintenance to reduce material demand and increase production efficiency. For society, I would do hospitals, probably regular hospitals to help with health. And then for hubs, I would research probably either the communications hub to increase trust or the fighting hub to decrease tensions. So that's what I would do, and you can vote for 1 more minute now that I've explained that. Also, I am going to need another fuel depot, because I'm trying to stockpile as much oil for when things get very cold. Looks like you guys are heavily leaning towards get hospitals, dude. And I'm all for it. I also mentioned wanting a industrial district down here. And I'm going to try to design it in such a way that I can have 2 industrial districts down here, if needed. Building, prefab. Yeah, I'll probably need 2. Thinking ahead. Okay, so we're going to research some hospitals. Got it. So, hospitals. So the teaching hospital or the regular hospital. I'm going to go with regular hospital because it's supported by 71% of the city, which seems a pretty reasonable choice. Okay, we can store up to 250,000 oil, which should keep us pretty warm. And one of our Frostland teams is done. Yep, over here. So, there's a ghost town, and we could take only the core or everything, but I would need a lot more teams to take everything. I'm going to wait to see what everything entails. And then the other place is a musk ox herd. So, what I'm doing now is I'm going to stop the benefit of the hot springs so I can free up 25 teams. And I'm also going to do it here too so that I can see what the benefit of taking everything is. So it's core and 500 prefabs. Yeah, let's do that. Take everything. 500 prefabs just about doubles the amount of prefabs I have available to me, which is very good. And I had mentioned wanting an extraction district here, so let's put that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm not only going to want an extraction district here, I'm going to want another industrial district too. Essentially, I want the manufacturing capacity to make a lot of prefabs or make a lot of goods at a moment's notice if there's a deficit in anything. And I can always keep those facilities turned off when I'm not using them, but having them built so that I can turn them on immediately is going to be incredibly useful. Alright, they're trying to pass heat recycling for the 3rd time. It's going to fail for the 3rd time, I'm pretty sure, because they haven't gained any more seats in the council.
Have it.
Yep. But I still keep my favor with them, so, you know. Net benefit to me. BH Grit, Kieran, thank you for the resub. So what I'm doing, if you've noticed, is I'm setting myself up to be like an economic powerhouse. Because whatever whatever we face in the future, it's really good to have just an incredible amount of extra overhead as cushion. Also, I have all the teams bringing in those prefabs need to be redeployed. So I haven't surveyed the gorge. Let's do that. And then the 10 extra people that I have will go to speed up exploration speed and to tap the herd for extra food. All right, this facility here, I don't actually want running. I just wanted to build it. But I am going to build an adjacent industrial facility. Actually, not on that side. On the other side. So I'll have to frost clear a bit. Twice, in fact. And I want to expand this so that it covers the 1, 2, 3, maybe? Once it's frost broken. An old Dreadnought hasn't gotten its bigger pumps yet, but, you know, I have that in the back of my mind. Alright, what came up? Oh, it's colder!
Forecasts call for colder temperatures. Take action.
Yep. It's not quite white out, but it's pretty cold. Stalwarts want me to build another surveillance tower, and everyone will be happier with it, so sure. If everyone wants it, I will oblige. It's going in already. More guards, the better. Boy, this game looks weird through colored goggles. Oh, it's also really hard to drink coffee. Dare I say I might need a straw. So I have a pretty good amount of stockpiled goods. So I'm going to pivot this. I'm going to pivot this facility from goods to prefabs so I can start stockpiling prefabs. Because prefabs is how to build new buildings, and it's really good to have a nice amount of prefabs stockpiled for when you have urgency. So if all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, I need, you know, X, Y, or Z, I can just ramp that up at a moment's notice. So, Fortitude base. There is prefabs and supplies, but reconstructing the base will be more difficult. I can leave the supplies. So this is a possible settlement. For what? For... contacting... For a lab for scientists to study the frost. So, have you guys decided on this? Choice. Take supplies. Leave supplies. And I'll come back to it later until you're done voting. The other one is a materials mine for lots of materials. And I'll probably want to connect that skyway at some point. And while we vote on that, I'm going to survey the adjacent plains. I, as you can tell, put a lot of investment into survey, trying to survey really as much as I can. The other thing is I'm going to have to adjust the amount of fuel we export to New London because it did get colder. So as you can see, we're at -60. Actually, -60 will last 19 weeks. Yeah, let's adjust that. Let's go to neutral, or like +5. So we have so much oil generation here, and really good insulation and all that, that even at -60 Celsius, we gain fuel. We have a surplus of 5 fuel for Dreadnought and 123 fuel for New London. So New London's fuel supply, even in extremely cold weather, is just increasing. And you guys, I'm going to call this poll a little early. It's just overwhelmingly you want me to leave the supplies to be able to rebuild the research base more inexpensively. So where was that? Was here? No. Oh, I'm backwards. I'm like upside down. It was here. Leave the supplies. So exploration cost decreased when this is rebuilt. And I'll build trails to it soon. Alright, I think it's about time
to avoid unnecessary queuing.
Queue up to defeat the Frost. So I researched hospitals. I'm going to have you choose one more research project to research, and I'm going to save up to defeat the Frost. So if you choose heating, here I gotta take those off briefly. I'll leave them like that. If you choose heating, we will go with maybe heat dispatcher. For resources, I would do advanced hothouses for boosted hothouses. For Frostland, freight docks or scout training. Freight docks allows us to transfer more materials. For city, maintenance duty. For society, probably youth programs. And for hubs, communications or fighting hubs. So I'll give you a little bit of time to vote on that. And I'm going to grant the Frostlanders an agenda again to earn more favor so that I can call upon them to de-radicalize pilgrims when it comes time. And they're going to propose the same stupid heating demand for housing districts reduced, and it's going to get voted down again because they don't learn their lesson.
Hear ye,
wow, even fewer were for it this time around.
Have spoken. The law is...
Okay, a whiteout is coming. We have to prepare. So there's a whiteout on the distant horizon, and we're given warning about it. Build more scouting? I could. I don't actually have a lot of unemployed people here in New London, though. I only have about 600. And if I wanted to balance out my, like, material deficit, I would be employing those 600, working in this, extraction district. So I really only have, like, a few hundred work, supplies to play with. So it's probably not enough excess people to just, you know, build a whole new district, in my opinion. Now, if you wanted, I could certainly build the... Oops, I did not mean to click that. I could, you know, build mechanized scouts to be able to scout quicker, or... to build survivalist headquarters, you know, or logistics bays. You know, I could build automated logistics bays to add more teams. That would, and it looks like Frostland is tied. So if you vote Frostland, I'll build automated logistics bays to add more Frostland teams to our logistics districts. But only if it wins. I'll flip a coin if it's tied. Cheers! And, yep, that was the tiebreaker. Me mentioning that. Okay. So the last thing before fulfilling the main story's quests that I research is the... Oh, I could do a Vanguard logistics bay, but no, I'm going to do the automated ones. So that we have more teams working out in the cold. Because I agree with you, it's a very powerful tool. Right tools for the job. So, city development effort will provide more prefabs, but may cause casualties or ban them from doing that. I'm actually going to ban them from doing that because I don't want unnecessary casualties. So we just surveyed a weather station to increase population growth and the Winterhome Bridge. We have 20 teams. Let's go there, to that valley. Man, I keep granting them. So I think what I'll do is build the hospital. Actually, yeah, I don't currently have disease. So instead of that, I'm going to save up for the surplus injectors. Oh, and here is the Stalwarts rally again. So, did I lose Twitch integration again? What the heck? You can see how this is not my fault. It's like off again. Or something. I lost, or at least I lost the option to kick it to you guys to vote. But I'll take the extra heat stamps because I like money. And we need more money than anything else at the moment. So we have 2 rallies. That's real nice. They are very pleased with me. The other thing I'd like to build is even more oil production. I really want to fill up my stockpiles. Alright, that was just about declining for them to use experimental gear in a dangerous way. So I have 15 people. We discovered... I'm going to take the cores, not the automatons. Another hunting camp for herd. And materials for scrap. I'm going to leave that because I think we're pretty close on our material cap. So I don't really need more materials. And we'll start surveying the hills down here. And if you're ever wondering, I have 5 in this watch, 5 transporting materials, 20 charting a valley, and 10 charting the hills. So you can always mouse over that to figure out what they're up to. And these buttons here is the mines. So this is the coal mine, this is the materials, this is the hot springs, and this is the herd, where you can drop down to see its bonuses and whether they're active or not.
Help us keep you warm. Report
So the surplus injector is done,
and damages
just about.
to the nearest maintenance office.
And if I activate it, I trigger the next part of the story, so I'll do that now. Survive the whiteout. The warmth our upgraded generator now pumps through the veins of the city is unprecedented. People take off their layers, testing the air with bare skin in disbelief. The dream of feeling warm again is real, unless the frost tests us again. So there is a whiteout on the horizon. Extreme low visibility, hurricane winds, the full force of the frostland. So survive the incoming whiteout. So for that, let's not burn our surplus. I want to be actually stockpiling. So doing this creates like bonus heat, which the people really like, but like, you know, it's a bit wasteful unless if we're trying to prepare for a whiteout. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and extract even more oil from the old dreadnought so that we can really start to stockpile. And it's going to be a little bit easier to stockpile soon because it's going to become warmer twice before the whiteout hits us. So we'll need less fuel to heat up. Alright, a beacon of hope. Incoming whiteout. Stewart, our guards have encountered a group of frozen, terrified outsiders at the edge of the city. They speak of stories spreading among the destitute groups scraping by in the frozen wastes. That our improved generator can ensure safety for all. That here people can have a future. It seems New London has become a beacon of hope in the face of incoming whiteout. There will be more people coming. So, I am gonna have to prepare myself for quite the influx of climate refugees. Which is fine. I'm prepared. So let's start amassing food. And to that end, I am going to build a food stockpile hub here. So let's get rid of the frost there so I can actually build it. So that, because during whiteouts, food production sucks. So having a big stockpile of both fuel, food, really stockpiling everything for the whiteouts is ideal. Because once the whiteout hits, you know, production is horrible. And one of the survival tactics for whiteouts is to actually turn off everything non-essential so that you don't have to heat those buildings. So, for instance, during whiteouts, there's no point in having your logistics running because you can't be outside anyway. So turning these off saves you the fuel of keeping them warm. So these are all like, you know, tasks to do right before or during a whiteout. The other thing I could consider is setting up heating hubs. So these heating hubs require workforce and demands materials, but decreases the heating needs for facilities adjacent to them. So as you can see, I've like designed this spot at least for like a hole, and this one as well for a hole. And these will help to reduce your reduce your fuel needs while increasing your material needs. So if you have a large material stockpile, heating hubs can help to negate some of the needs for during a whiteout. Oh, there's more people living here. All right. Let's do that food stockpile here. And I am actually going to send most of these people over to Old Dreadnought. Because I intend to dramatically ramp up oil production in Old Dreadnought so that we can ship just a staggering amount of oil. And I think in this case I'm going to actually save up for the advanced jack. Yeah, there we go. So now I have 3 advanced jacks in Old Dreadnought. Knowing that all those people are coming here, I'm going to need to set up some additional housing. Is there a... No. I was looking to see if there was other crevasses that I could take advantage of, but I don't think there are. The one thing that I haven't done yet is research housing districts. So one way to add extra housing is these housing blocks. So these housing blocks come with a disadvantage, which is they have a heat demand which cannot be negated by adjacencies, but they do offer bonus shelter. So for instance, the Stalwart's dense housing block shelters 25 for a heat of 20, which is pretty good, given that it is just a little bit of disease. So I'm going to actually research the Stalwart's idea, because it's really highly efficient when I have overpopulation, which is something that we could use in both Old Dreadnought, which is growing, and also New London, which is now a beacon of hope, which is causing it to grow as well. Alright, I would like to continue surveying all of the closest places to New London, too. So there is a Baron's Cave. A wall of whiskey barrel protects the entrance to this cave. Inside, shackled servants sell anything from stolen jackets to sun drugs. Towards the back of the market is where the servants themselves are bought and sold. Our scouts were handed a message. To whoever rules New London, I rescued each of my servants from certain death in the plague-ridden bilge of the shipwreck camp. Send us the materials to make weapons, and we can expand the shipwreck itself, the Baron. And the shipwreck camp. Broken chains hang from the gunwale or gunnel, sorry, not gunwale, gunnel of a wrecked prison hulk. Founded by escaped convicts who swore all residents would be equal, rival gangs formed over time and now compete for power. Our scouts say that the settlement is in chaos, with different laws and practices behind each bulkhead. Until a clear authority reigns, there's nothing that we can do about this wreck. So I can reinstate the old leaders, but in order to do that, I need to take steps towards equality, which is not the stalwarts that we've been backing believe in merit, not equality. I can support new leadership. If we arm the men in the nearby barren cave, they'll be able to defeat rival gangs and bring about order. Or I can bring these people to New London, but these are like gang members, so maybe they're not the best to be joining us, or come back later. So what to do? What to do about the shipwreck camp? Support new leadership? Or bring them to New London? Or do nothing? I don't actually need to get involved at all, and that's a totally valid solution too. Okay, we built the other fracturing pump jack, so let's readjust exportation. So the we are now at maximum export of oil from Old Dreadnought to New London, and if we want to export any more oil, we're going to need freight docks. So that's going to be pretty high up on my next research project, because we have a ton of oil going nowhere. So I'm going to ramp down the oil production here. In Old Dreadnought until we can actually export it somewhere productive. So there. I've balanced it a bit so that it's 0 and everything excess goes to New London.
The steward appreciates all your adoring letters and will answer personally in due time.
Alright, this extraction district is done. And that means we turn on this one. And yeah, I'm still dramatically in the negatives here. So let's frostbreak a new potential district. A bunch of the new people that moved to the area are expensive to house, to put it mildly. Okay. Expanding that housing district increases the adjacency bonuses between both. Justice has no scabbard. Stalwarts. So they're asking for the mobilize automaton enforces stalwart action patrols, which is another radical idea, so I'm not going to do that. I don't need robots policing people like this is Half-Life. And you guys decided to do nothing in the bandits camp. Got it. Alright, another survey. So this little one up here in the top right is an indicator that there's like a discovered region that I haven't actually clicked on. So there's a frozen grove with materials, quite a lot of them, very high yield, and an explorer's cave where there's a core. I'll take the core. The 10 extra people. What could you be doing? Oh, you know what? We have a materials deficit in New London, don't we? Yeah. So let's go and tap the freighter again. So this should go from 60 to 40 once it's done. No? Really? I thought... I guess I was wrong. It was already sharing adjacencies. Whatever. And I'll just keep granting agenda to the Frostlanders as long as I don't really care to pass anything specific, so that if the Pilgrims become radicalized, I can ask the Frostlanders to put a stop to it.
Hear ye, the noes have it.
And I'm just trying to get everyone into shelter here at Old Dreadnought so that we don't have any dying. Because I don't have... one thing I don't have here is like hospitals or anything like that. So I'm trying to limit the amount that have to be, you know, hospitalized. Oh, I had... No, never mind. I'm adding some ventilation towers to prevent excess squalor as well. I don't believe this can be expanded, because there's no room for the expansion. Yeah. So if I want the last 5 to be housed, I'm going to need to build a new housing district. So research. I had mentioned that without freight docks, I'm going to be limited to the amount that I can actually export. So let's get freight docks built so that I can export more oil from Old Dreadnought to New London. And we have a new survey. So ruins of Tesla City. It's a possible settlement. I can either salvage it for coal, which makes no sense, but it does give me the coal liquefaction research in Arrival New London. So what that research does is it allows me to turn coal into oil, but like I don't have coal stockpiles, or create a research outpost. And I like a research outpost, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to connect that research outpost to... Oh, I need a little bit more money. I can't get there in one run. But that would allow me to staff 10 of my Frostland team there to increase research speed a bit. There's a coal mine and mysterious towers, which need more Frostland teams to be able to investigate. Let's see if I can't do that now. So, sends an exploration expedition down to the mysterious towers, the Tesla Peak Towers. And then I'm going to take the 10 from this Imperial freighter and actually build the research station connection now, so that I can use that. I would say that Old Dreadnought is like balanced enough. It needs maybe another vent tower at some point for the squalor that all the pump jacks are creating, because it's quite a lot of squalor. But you know, it's doing pretty good. Thank you for tuning in to Frostpunk 2, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 21st. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that I'm trying to avoid spoilers. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors.